Hey traders, hello, welcome to another edition of the Crypto Lab with Alex, featured from Trading Analysis. I hope you are all well and sound. As usually, we have a lot of things to cover, and we will start immediately. I hope all of you are okay. Just tip me off in the chat that the sound is okay, and we can start today's edition. Lots of the news, lots of the charts, lots of the macro events. So things are getting a little bit more in a sideways fashion. So we will go through the Bitcoin and XRP, which finally showed its hand on the upside. And of course, we will go of some of the charts of alts from my choice and also from your choice. Okay, guys, so let's start immediately and let's dive in. First thing, it's the monster news from the Coinbase before the public IPO. Coinbase estimates Q1 revenue jumped ninefold to about 1.8 billion. And this is clearly a sign that crypto market is rising. This figure was expected to be higher, but I don't think that nobody expected this much of a revenue on the upside. So obviously the crypto space is growing, the space is attracting more and more capital to its development. And this is a very good news for the Coinbase in front of its public market debut. Um, Other news today are not so much populated. We have also State Street to start trading crypto on its platform. So we are seeing this trend that many brokers want to catch up with the space and kind of capture these new revenue streams which are coming from the people trading crypto. And I think this trend will continue, and this is more going to a kind of another phase, which we call adoption number two. So we are seeing a financial space, which is the one step before the general public starts to kind of be more involved in trading or either even paying in cryptos. One thing also I want to mention that this India is going to actually vote on the law regarding banning of everybody trade with cryptos. I mean, this news is relatively old, but we are seeing more and more that this is going to be pushed through the parliament, and that 1.3 billion people that lives in India will also kind of be exempt, at least for the time being, from the crypto market, which is a kind of a blow. We must admit it's a very big population. And also, I have heard some news, especially from the owner of the PayPal and some other macro guys, which are kind of reiterating the more geopolitical things regarding Bitcoin and China dominance in the mining space. So I think that some of the even potentially big uh, geostrategic analysts are starting to see this scene as it starts to capture the flows as something which might pose danger on the geopolitical scene. So I think we will see more and more of that. So as you can see here, in a macro situation, we have a kind of a both two currents going parallel for now. One current which starts to reiterate their fears regarding the crypto space, and the other flow, which is clearly that the crypto space is growing every week, and that we are seeing more and more involvement from the financial services into crypto space to capture a new growing industry and of course new revenue. Not much of the news today. On the other front, there is some of the predictions regarding Bitcoin, some of the comments that the Bitcoin supports are. There is also big profits in the mining space because the crypto scene and the Bitcoin price went on the upside. Not much of a news today, so we will see what will happen with all of this other stream of the geopolitical scene, and I'm expecting to hear this more and more as the space is growing. So let's go to our first chart, Bitcoin dominance chart. And as you maybe have noticed, last week we were looking for this push down, which actually materialized for the last 7 days. We were looking here for a consolidation and then another move down in the this relation between the Bitcoin and other coins. So it's called the Bitcoin dominance chart. And as you can see, after this triangle or possible triangle, we still didn't see anything feasible on the upside. So in order to consider this to be a completed flat, we need to see some type of a low and then a 5-way move advance on a smaller time frame, which we still don't see. And if we try to challenge these 52 levels, I said potentially we might see even lower levels in this chart. So this will be my key zone, and I will be watching what is going on. We have noticed last week that a lot of altcoins went pretty much on the upside. Some of them even went like 20-30%, and BitTorrent even went much more higher. So in that case, I will be looking for this support around 52, 53 levels, and from there I will expect at least some type of a corrective pullback back to 62, or even a complete trend reversal on the side of the Bitcoin. As I said a few crypto labs before, I don't think this chart now represents Bitcoin versus alts. It definitely represents that in the price or in this graph, but this alts, what we called alts, is developing more and more and kind of living their life now more different in the crypto ecosystem than just be bluntly compared to the Bitcoin. I think these things will change greatly, and that we will have to look them one by one instead of in this kind of a portrait where we measure Bitcoin against everybody else. Nevertheless, until this time comes, we will look for a potential reversal. We will see in which form. RSI is pretty down. It hit at 16. So potentially we might see some type of reversal or a complete reversal of a trend. I don't think that we will see that yet. I generally think that the alts might continue, not now, but in a later stages, its run on the upside. So potentially I will look this as a 1 up into down in 3, 4, and 5 to this 44, 45 levels. But this is just a hypothesis. Let's see week by week how this chart goes, and let's see what will develop here. Let's follow the price and the wave structure, and the market will tell us where it wants to go. Let's look a little bit of macro. So the main scene in the macro space is this US 10-year yields, which are backing off from this equality level. If you remember last time, we were watching these equality levels here, and we were looking what will happen. Looking at the figures, I doubt this will be the reversal point. This is the very strong resistance levels. As you can see, first we have equality of this move on the upside after a retracement, which we called as a measured move. The RSI is moving down, and we don't see that such a follow strong up in yields, which I think very well expresses a potential market opinion that the yields will just retrace and it will attack these pretty huge resistance levels and try to push the yields on the upside. I think that temporary inflation definitely is coming, at least for some part of the future months to come. But then eventually we will still, when the economy balances itself, we will still be in a deflationary, technology demographic driven deflationary scenario. But for the next year or two, we can expect after some pullback that we see a potential penetration of these two resistance levels and then a further move on the upside towards these 2.6, 2.7 levels technically. I don't think that will very well be taken by the, especially Nasdaq, where we see the pretty brutal rotation between the growth and value stocks in the last couple of weeks. So I will stay bullish here on yields with a small pullback and the further potential continuation on the upside. I think we will spend some time trying to break this very strong resistance levels, but then eventually we will continue on the upside. I think more than we will kind of just back off of this level and continue downside. So my view will be that the yields will continue higher after maybe several attempts to break these very key resistance levels. Let's look a little bit of dollar index, and dollar index is went down as we expected. We reached 200 levels, and here there is several options. I'm looking here for some type of a larger consolidation in terms of time. The wave count invalidation comes at 90.94, so still there is a lot of space here of a dollar index to consolidate. I basically expressed my view here in a triangle, because sometimes when you have such a big wave 2, I think triangle maybe it's the best representation of the potential wave 4. We will see that we have our key levels, and we will still, until some of the key wave count invalidation levels are reached, we're going to look for a potential sideways consolidation for some time, and then a continuation on the upside to complete this wave A in dollar, move down in B, and potentially move in final wave C on the upside here in this larger degree B wave or the second wave. As you can see, if this scenario is correct and we do start to see a triangulation here, you can notice that this correction will take some time. I think if we are right on this one and we keep trading in this designated area here, you will see that we will reach potentially wave A around end of May, June, and then we will correct in a B wave, which will take also months or two, and then we will start to move on the upside in a C wave. So this correction in dollar will take some time until we see finally the three wave move on the upside is potentially finished. Okay, so our overall wave count is that 5 waves down from the March 2020 is completed, and that we are in some sort one or the other corrective pullback as long as some of these levels holds in the dollar, and that we will see still much of it plays out until the end of 2021. As the gold is concerned, I don't think that this move has finished. This is our bullish wave count on gold. We are looking for some signs potentially that these levels played its crucial role in keeping gold here, and that we will continue on the upside. I don't think so. Looking at the macro scene, I'm still going to go much of a potential larger triangle, because the gold doesn't react pretty much on rising yields, at least up to 3 to 4%. We will see that the gold will not be very kind of a favored thing if the yields continue in this range, and if they continue to move on the upside. I'm going to watch what the levels here around 1670 will do, and then I will base and kind of modify my opinion, because this starts to look more and more as a large sideways consolidation. I'm going to be looking at, especially if I see another push down in gold, that this is just a wave A, B, and C. We'll go in D and E, consolidate further, and once we are out of this potential inflationary kind of a bottleneck for some time. After then, will gold potentially move on the upside? So I have several scenarios. I'm not concluding anything here. I'm still keeping a kind of things open and waiting market to show me, and that's why I have several scenarios here, as you can see, for the potential gold outcome. And I will wait a little bit more to have kind of a firmer bias on it. Okay, so that was a little bit of macro. Just we see in what environment we are functioning. I think that the macro environment, especially in yields, will influence at least the Bitcoin, as I expressed the last time. So let's look at the chart of the Bitcoin. Did we see any changes from the last crypto lab? But particularly, I didn't see much of a change on a Bitcoin chart, as you can see. So we are still operating under the this wave count, that we are very close to complete this larger degree wave 3, and I very well explained why do I think so, that this event is very possible. From the macro standpoint, higher yields I think will bring some of this money from cryptos back to a little bit more of a safer environment, because the cryptos, as you know, are very volatile. And especially if until the end of the year the economy normalizes, I think that people will go out of their desk and enjoy a little bit of life after these hard lockdowns for a year, year and a half, take a little bit of profit, and kind of paired with the potential yields going higher. I think that the Bitcoin from these levels around 76,000 will fall into some type of triangulation until we see some other macro scene which will allow Bitcoin to continue further towards this 1,700, 170,000 or 185,000, which is our kind of a primary target for this sequence on the Bitcoin. So not much of a developments in the last week. We have seen pretty much sideways price action. I will go on a smaller time frame to show you that. And as you can see on the RSI, we also see this divergence, which we see on a Bitcoin for the last couple of weeks, is still working. We are still seeing here higher highs, and on the RSI, we are seeing lower highs from these levels around 40,000, and potentially this might continue and fall in some type of this long consolidation with a kind of continuation of this trend momentum to go further lower. And that is one of the best setups when you see this indicator moving down and you see the price consolidates for the move on the upside. So I don't see Bitcoin going immediately on this 170K. I hear many news and pundits talking about that. Of course, it is possible, but I will keep my view until I'm proven differently, because I have a solid macro team and thesis behind it, and also technically, I think that this setup clearly shows that 75K will be probably a very big hurdle for the Bitcoin to continue just immediately on the upside. And even if you see the wave structure, if this is just a wave 3 of the lesser degree, we will still from this level see some type of the wave 4 correction before even we go directly to these levels. So in any case, I think we will see in a couple of maybe months what is the finalizing things here. I will stay with this scenario that we will trace out maybe a little bit pullback, maybe an ending diagonal to this 75, and then we will fall in a larger corrective pullback. Okay, so one of the things that also I'm looking here, so on this sequence, so we know that the wave 3s are pretty much kind of a vertical on the upside, and this verticality cannot last forever. Okay, so as you can see here in the wave 1, the wave 3 expresses itself in this verticality. We had a small pullback in a wave 4 and then a continuation. So this kind of verticality, especially on this time frame, will be met by some type of a corrective pullback. So if you see this wave 2 being a directional one here, which is up in B and down in C, looking at the kind of a guideline, not the rule of alternation, which says actually that the wave 2s and 4 will alternate between their respective patterns. And if we see the wave 2 to be a directional one, we can expect that the wave 4 will be more of a kind of a either complex or triangulation, or as you know, in a former technical analysis or a technical analysis of the older days, still valid of course, it's called wedge. Okay, so I think the premises and hypothesis we are dealing here, that the wave 4 will be some type of a more of a sideways nature, it's pretty well based if we pair that with the possibility that the wave 3 Fib ratios, which we have several, how we measure the potential target for the wave 3. So the equality or a measured move we passed, this is a base channel. So once we pass the equality on the base channel, we can remove this and look for the next one, which is 1618, which we passed very successfully on the upside, and the next one is 200. Okay, so I think that if you look all of these facts from the technical perspective and the macro perspective, and if you kind of assemble them in a possible outcome, I think this scenario is pretty much possible. And as I said, I'm going to keep it until I'm proven different. And of course, the price action and the market will be judged of that if my hypothesis and the possible wave count is something which is going to be played out in this Bitcoin scenario. Also, this RSI is, I think, pretty much telling, but you have to be careful with this indicator, because sometimes when you have the uptrend, the RSI can stay in this kind of a sideways movement while the price is still going on the upside. It is just kind of a secondary thing that we look when we do this type of a methodology and try to see where we are on this big time frame, kind of a really wide outlook to have an orientation where we are in the current trend. Okay. Okay, so let's look some of the things which happened further in the crypto space. So let's move and look some of the things that I looked. I found this ADA or Cardano a pretty much sideways consolidation. It relatively looks like a triangle if you see. So potentially my target for ADA is around 2.36. This looks pretty much as a sideways consolidation. Potentially E wave is over, and you have to be careful because the E waves are or triangles, not the E waves. Sorry, the triangles in general are very tricky patterns because they can morph into several different corrections we usually observe in the Elliott wave methodology. Okay, so the triangle is confirmed when you surpass all of this sideways consolidation. Here we have a wave A, B, down in C, up in D, and down in E. So potentially what I'm looking here, I want to see a 5-wave move which goes out of this consolidation and then retraces potentially a little bit and then continue possibly in this 5-wave move on the upside. So one of the old ways, except the Fib ratios, how do you measure where the triangle might potentially go, is you take just a straight trend line and you put it on a possible end of the triangle, and you will see we will get some of this type of a price target between 190 and 2.36. So for now, this consolidation on Cardano is very suspective of the possible continuation on the upside, especially if these levels hold. So this triangle invalidation will be around 0.98. After, if this is reached and crossed on the downside, I will look for the secondary support and try to decipher a different pattern possibility here. This can be ABC, triangle X, and then another ABC to the downside. But anyhow, I think this is still a corrective sideways price action, and we are going to continue, I think, on the upside for now. One of the things everybody noticed is that pretty much decisive move in the XRP. And what we have been looking before, I said that I don't want to have a clear view, or that I don't want to even think about the XRP before I see a break of this potential X wave, because this can be still some type of a larger consolidation. We have one very distinctive level that we look here, which is 127, which is a little bit above exactly here. So I think for now, this is looks like a more as a 5-wave pattern. So I will flip my scenario on the bearish side for a potential running flat in a wave 2 or 4. It really doesn't matter. We will go further on the upside. I will flip that for more bullish development. So if I see a 5-wave up in this wave 1 from this beautiful kind of a sideways, very long move, and if you put a trend line here, and if you project it downside, you will see pretty much that these levels kept this XRP to fall further. We leaned on it, and now we trace out some type of a triangulation. We are still in a corrective channel, but this is a kind of a warning sign, guys, that you should be watching a potential pullback in the XRP for the further continuation on the upside. So if this is a wave 1 on the upside, very sharp pullback down exactly to 786 levels, which is a common ratio that we look for the last resort price reversal, which actually happened here. We had before only 3 waves, but then we developed a triangle, and now we are looking for a potential blue wave 1 on the upside, and after a potential 3 wave down to this midpoint, I will become, if I see a confirmation on a smaller time frame, very bullish on the XRP. This should happen around June, July, which is the time when the possible trial will begin. But as I see, the trial case is very weak, and we might have actually the XRP react to that very abruptly and explosively on the upside, trying to catch up this missing upside part, which we've seen on the other alts and the Bitcoin as well. So XRP is lagging for the obvious reasons, and if we kind of place the technical picture, there is a chance that this what happened in the last week will potentially confirm the larger bullish outlook, and that any pullback should be watched very carefully, because if you have a 1-2-1-2, the pullback will not be big. Okay, wherever you look in the Elliott wave developments, if you have, and this is pretty much not a standard thing to have a 1-2-1-2 situation, that will be very bullish. But sometimes, because you can expect some Fib ratio reached here, wave 2 can be very short. So it can be very fast, very short, and then reverse and kind of a skyrocket on the upside. So be aware of that. I think that XRP now should be on everybody's watch list. What is going to actually occur here? And the next corrections will be a possibility even after small confirmation on the upside. If you don't want kind of to play a risky game of catching lows, XRP might go pretty much on the upside once this kind of a consolidation and this pattern resolution try to place it out further in a positive momentum for the XRP in the next couple of months. So it's definitely on my list. As I said, I will wait, and I did wait. I didn't do anything on XRP with our members, but now I will be very cognizant of this move. I register it, I label it, and in my view, XRP can be a next very big bullish potential scenario, which should be watched very carefully. Hey, Igor, what would you like to look? USD ruble. Yeah, I mean, it's still in very big consolidation. We need to see some of the other stuff happening there. Um, hey, Morn, what's up? How's in Australia? William, hello. Hey, Wilson Chong. Good evening. You're probably from Asia, China, Hong Kong. Where are you from? Hey, Johnny. Swag, what's up, man? How's in Australia? You have another buddy. Morn is there. Hey, Dojin. India banning crypto for 50 times. Yeah, they will ban it. I mean, I think so. Hey, John. How are you, man? Yeah, I agree. If yields rise. Oh, Philippines. Okay. If yields rise, I agree, John, it will be tough for gold to rally. That's for sure. At least up to 3 to 4%. Yeah, we will look different cryptos this time. I just wanted to show you what is our main list. We track in trading analysis pretty much a pretty wide number of cryptos. As you can see here, we have, I don't know, 20, 25 of them with crosses. So we also track lots of alts in our Discord membership with our members. So as you can see here, we exchange lots of charts and opinions. One of the things also I want to mention is some of the two indicators on the higher time frame. This is the P cycle top indicator, and this crossing between the green and the yellow line on the Bitcoin chart was pretty telling in the past. So watch out also here. We are starting to see this cross possible. I'm not kind of a fan of looking much of this type of indicators, but this one clearly showed every time on this higher time frame, when you have some type of crosses in the wide range, you saw some sizable move down in a Bitcoin. Then from here, we didn't cross up to these levels from 16 February 2018, when we dropped further even more. And then we have seen expansion, and now we are possibly going to see another cross. But looking at this triangulation, I think this cross will more go for several times, because I expect a sideways price action. But it's just a look to, it is, I think, wise to look these things and to be kind of a cognizant what's going on the higher time frames from several perspectives. The pool multiple also is the kind of levels from where miners are starting to kind of sell their bitcoins in the past, and often these highs coincide with the highs in the Bitcoin, because the miners are the biggest kind of a selling force out there. We still didn't reach this critical red area, but if you draw a trend line here, you will see that basically we are going to see a little bit of a more sideways price action in this pool multiple possible. So I think that this line, which I cannot draw here, I just tried and I messed up. So if you pull it here, we are some around these levels, which also agrees with the potential sideways price action in the future before we start to move on the upside. So I think sometimes I usually look this on the larger time frames. It's good to have a picture from definitely several perspective, not just one, to kind of see where you are on the higher time frames. Okay, so the compound went very well nicely on the upside. As you know, in the Crypto Lab, we were kind of a flagging very much to you and to our members, and Some of them went long at these levels. A very nice move on the upside from the 333 to even 561. So almost a very nice move on the upside. This is a log scale, and I'm still looking now what it's going to be. I will look for now a little bit more higher for this possible intermediate wave 3, and then I will look for a possible wave 4 and a wave 5 to this 1618, which will give us a kind of a higher degree wave 3 development here, large pullback, and then a continuation. So I always put this type of things as a hypothesis, and then I look for several clues what actually is going on there, and in most of the times it works well. To adjust the wave count is not sacrilege. You have to do it constantly because the patterns you recognize often morphs, and you need to have an orientation because of your entries and your risk, what is going on there. So I don't think this is still finished. I will look for a possibility of a little bit more higher, and then maybe a little bit of more of a sideway, maybe sideway triangle or a complex correction to pair this very quick wave 2 here, and then a continuation further on the upside. So let me just to look from you some of the charts, and then I will continue with overlooking my list of alts. Hey Clifford, hey Kumbo Mabe, where are you from? South Africa. How is it in South Africa? Where are you from? Joburg or Durban or Cape Town? I had a few friends from South Africa. They're still there. Hey Clifford, Mana. Okay, let's look Mana. What's going on Mana? Decentralized US dollar. We already outlined some of the chart in Mana. So as you can see here, we have a very clear sign here of the impulsive price action. I don't like to see, especially, but the crypto market is like that. This type of corrective pullbacks, they're very sizable. As you can see, we went from the beginning of 2018 almost to 2020 in middle in this corrective second wave, and now after that we are seeing a clear sign that we are passing the equality, so we can confirm a pretty much big probability that this trend will continue on the upside if we start to follow this more kind of a lesser degree patterns here. So I will look for something like this to this 1.618 on the upside, and then a possible further reversal and a continuation. So the shorter term, if we look the overall structure, we can state that this is pretty much a good candidate as long as we hold these levels there, that we are going to continue higher on this Mana. So I like this small consolidation here. It tells you basically that the buying pressure is still overcoming the bearish pressure or the selling pressure here. So this might morph in a small triangle. We go further upside, correct a little bit, lean on this trend line, and then continue in this possible white wave 3 on the upside. We can also do a larger picture. So if we do that, we will put a pretty much big kind of a wave. So I don't think there is need for that now. Let's focus on this current small trading opportunities. And I think this one is presenting a little bit of a sideways consolidation with a possible continuation on the upside. Oh, Johannesburg, great. How is the weather there? I hope it's usually sunny. Hey Lawrence, what's up? How's in my favorite Copenhagen? What would you like to look? Oh, the same as Clifford. Okay. Okay, so let me just scroll. Hey Oleg, what's up? How's in Russia? Andre, hello. How is in Moscow? Felix. Hey, Felix, what would you like to see? You like to see Polkadot, one of my favorites. Okay, let's look Polkadot chart. Where is the Polkadot? Polkadot is here. I like this Polkadot very much as a project and as a pattern. So if you can look using our standard measures, which are explained before, very nice 5 waves up in a wave 1, down in wave 2 clearly, a very simple corrective pullback, a very discernible 5 waves down, 3 waves up, 5 waves down. We kept some of the key levels here, if you measure them. So wait, wrong ratio. Let me just do the right one, which will be 2 versus 1. And let me erase this one very fastly. So we kept here a 50% retracement, and we can retrace, we can erase that now. And actually, then we saw a leading diagonal and expanding one in a wave 1, pullback in a wave 2, and then we see what we are talking every time, a very vertical wave 3 on the upside, which confirms the presence of the actually higher Fib ratios. I already said we are looking for 1618 and 200 usually. And as you can see, we are approaching 200. We lack a little bit more on the upside. So I will look potentially that this is 1, 2, up in 3, 4, and 5. So I will be very careful around these levels, 48, 45, and then in expectation afterwards of a larger fourth wave pullback, which will kind of correspond potentially in time, although that is rare in cryptos, but sometimes work with this wave 2 elapse, time elapsed in a wave 2 to the wave 4. So in some type of a June, July, May, when I see some of these ratios and potentially a nice corrective pullback, I will be definitely trying to be on this possible 5-wave development further on the upside in DOT. I like this chart very much, and I will tell you why. I like it because there is not much of a hesitation here, like in Mana, for example. We have seen a very short wave 2, not lasting just a couple of months, and then a clear decisive move on the upside. So the pattern is very nice. It is developing, respecting all of the Fib ratios and the signpost we have. So after this 5-wave move, we are going to see a 3-wave pullback here, and then from there we are going to see another probability that the dot might skyrocket even higher from this. So I cannot wait this pullback where the 5-wave sequence is finished, so I can buy it here and kind of hold it for the next couple of years. So that's his, I also like Polkadot as a project. So I think that the pattern wise and the project wise in crypto space, Polkadot is a winner in the next couple of years. Is that fine, Vargas? Okay, guys, let's look. I think that was fine. Let's look Catmove. Hey, Catmove. Let's look Scud. What is that? Let's see if we did any analysis on this one. Unfortunately not. I cannot see anything. I really apologize, but I don't have any pattern to work with here. If you look this price action, this indicates that first you don't have a liquidity, and then the first initial move on the upside is still didn't actually materialize. So if you are buying this one, you are either liking the project very much, or you expect it's going to follow through on the upside. I need to see some price action without this very large kind of back and forth buying and selling. So I want to see something more in this fashion to kind of have an orientation what I'm doing, because the Elliott wave is my main filter how I look the price action. So from here, unfortunately, I cannot see anything because there is not much of a liquidity or a price action that we can see. So I apologize. Whenever we see some price action which is more decisive, I will glad you give you my outlook on this Scudo cash thing. Sushi swap, sure. Sushi swap I like. We actually warned, if you go back to December, we gave very nice entry on the sushi swap around this area. We were looking here for a possibility that we are in a 1-2-1-2, and now we are in some type of the wave 3 development. This trading view sometimes, I mean, it's getting on my nerves because you just touch it and it's vanished. Okay, so let me just do this extension here for the possible wave 3. Okay, so some of the Fib ratios are in this zone, so I will expect this wave 3 to finish. I don't know, I don't think we are still done. Here, I think potentially a little bit more upside, but in any case, if we kind of flag this wave 3 here, or a little bit more upside from here, we can expect a pullback, but in my book, sushi swap is definitely bullish. Okay, if you look the ratios, if you look the price action, if you look the RSI, and I said always when you see the type of a potential wave 3 completion and the wave 4, it's kind of a dragging itself on the sideways price action, so you can look for some type of a wave 4 while this RSI on daily is moving down. And once you reach the move down in the RSI, you can kind of look that potentially wave 4 is finished and that we move upside in this kind of a final sequence in this first move on the upside from sushi swap. So I like the pattern, I like the what it's telling us, and I like the subdivisions. So overall, on kind of a semi-swing or semi-investment time frame, I'm still going to stay bullish on the sushi swap. Okay, let's look Uni-Swap. Yeah, Uni-Swap is one of the charts that we look with our members. So same situation. I like the wave development here pretty much. So we are still trading around equality. So very sharp move on the upside, a kind of a very visible pullback. And then we have this pattern here developing impulsively. So I think that we are in some type of the fourth wave pullback and that we are continue on the upside. I'm looking this zone with our members around the previous wave 4 and this smaller channel, base channel support, which comes around 24, 23. So I'll be looking for some type either of a triangle or a more ABC move down to these levels where I think we're gonna see conditions for a potential further development in this larger degree, orange wave 3, for which I have 2 targets. So we will discuss this when we see on the upside, but I like this Uni-Swap, especially it's bouncing around this equality level and the RSI is dropping. So that's a kind of a nice sign for me. I will still expect a little bit more lower levels to this support. Would you search Scoot from Kraken? I don't think I have Scoot here from Kraken. Let me see. No, we have it only on Coin Paprika. I don't have it on Kraken. I apologize. But the RTCE, you're talking about the Russian stock index. Okay. I'm not on a trading view. I'm on the, I think this is Coinbase. Trading view. Okay, so let's look at it on a trading view. What is this CUD? Tell me, Catmove. Is this SIA coin? What is the ticker? Okay, it's this one. So let's see. Yeah, it's SIA coin. Okay, Catmove, confirm if this is the one. I mean, there is so many cryptos. I really don't track everything, guys. So you need to help me a little bit when you ask me to do a chart. Just give me a little bit of hand. Okay, so this is the one. Okay. Yeah, so very clear pattern. Not much of a trouble here. So 5 waves up. So we can look for a further development on the upside. We already passed equality. 1, 2. So I think here, or a little bit more upside, you will see a wave 4 kicking back and then a further continuation. So it looks nice for now. Let's look some Fib ratios here, and let's look what's going on. We are still shy of below 1618, so I think we will see a small pullback and then potentially a further continuation to these levels. Then you can expect a fourth wave and then a fifth wave development. So it works nice. Pattern is nice. We don't see much of an overlap. Equality is already passed. Base channel is already passed on the upside. So there is a lots of signs here that we are going to continue potentially to this 0.057, and after a pullback we're going to see a further continuation on the upside. So just be careful around these key Fib levels, what's going on here in this fourth wave. Anchor, let's look at that. Jamush 42. Hey Jamush, what's rocking? We already did analysis on Anchor. So same stuff, as you can see, we were looking here still for unfinished wave 3, 4, and 5. Still nice development. We are trading a little bit above. Base channel is here. It is holding this support nicely. So potentially we will see a further continuation on the upside in this larger degree, wave 3. And when it's complete, you will see some type of a pullback and then a further continuation. So for now, although I would like to see a little bit more kind of a out of this danger zone where is always a measured move or equality. This is a pretty nice break, a very directional one. Three-way move down, very nice hold. But I would like to see more on the upside to confirm this third wave. I never like when we start to wiggle around this equality. I want to see a sharp development from this equality further on the upside. And if you have a position on it, I hope this will manifest for you soon enough so you can confirm the wave 3 presence here. But once, if you see that, especially on a bigger time frames, Anchor will be definitely bullish in my book as long as these levels hold. Okay, we looked at Dogen, so that's fine. It's bullish anyhow. Let me just scroll, and I don't want to left anybody anybody out of your requests. I cannot do just hey guys, hit the like button so that you don't forget. 1 inch, yes, Carl Lewis. Carl Lewis. It's not the Carl Lewis. Okay, so this was our analysis on 1 inch from the last time. I usually don't touch these charts, not just to show you how these things are working. So we have a wave 1 and 2 up in 3, consolidation in 4, and we are looking for the wave 5 from here. As you can see, we can also argue either that this was a corrective pullback or the triangle completed here a little bit higher, and that we are going on the upside. So for now, 1 inch looks good. Wave 3 was very nice on the upside. Consolidation in wave 4. The RSI starts to diverge, but it can still push on the upside. So on the end, you will see a high with diverging wave 3 and wave 5, which clearly can be manifested on the RSI. So I'm going to say a little bit more upside on this 1 inch. You can also measure this on the upside. Trading view is not very good for that, but exactly to there, 950. Be careful there if you're long. Sun in Moscow, Oleg. Great. Moscow is a beautiful city. I've been in St. Petersburg, Oleg. Actually, I was on a seminar there for a few days. I was a speaker, and it was a great few days in St. Petersburg. I have been in Moscow, but in early days, I'm very much open to visit Moscow again. I like Russia very much. Let's see. Yeah, let's look BitTorrent. BitTorrent was a craze. BitTorrent was like, oh, it's going up, it's going up. I personally, I don't fancy much Tronics. I think it is going up because of the gas fees in some of the transfers. But in general, I don't think overall it's a sustainable project in many much years ahead. I think much better version will come, maybe even from them. I don't argue that, but BitTorrent went kind of phenomenally on the upside. We have saw a break of this kind of equality. As you can see, we stopped here and then we pushed very, very large on the upside. If this is a pump or dump, I really don't know. I don't track so closely some of the projects which I'm not basically fall into my category of investigation for the crypto portfolio. But in general, I think this is a 1-2, very sharp wave 3. As you can see, you see a verticality to it. We reached 2.618, which is one of the ratios we look, and also there is a 4.23 on the upside. I don't think we will go directly, although I will not exclude that, but I will be conservative and look for some type of a fourth-wave pullback, which already I think started. It needs still to be confirmed in a more sideways price action, and then for a wave 5 on the upside. So for now, this BitTorrent, it's kind of a kicking its leg on the upside. If we go to the further ratio, which is the next one, I will tell you just what will be that number, so you can be careful if you have a long position there. So let's see what is the levels there for the bigger degree. Whoa, it's around 0.12. Huh? If this is a 1-2 and we are in the wave 3, we might even get to the upside. I mean, I don't like to be that much kind of an optimistic. I'm pretty much conservative, and my members, which we have so good relation, and I'm so happy to have them. We have, they know me as I like to be on a conservative side. I don't like this pompous kind of a Bitcoin will go to 1 million. Yeah, maybe, but let's see. Let's look at the science. Let's use some of the methodologies. Let's use the additional things which can say us that Bitcoin will go to 1 million. I cannot be blind and believe that. So maybe, maybe not. Who knows? So watch out if we penetrate for here without any further larger consolidation. This might shoot up further. Okay. Rose, Stefan. Hey, Stefan. I'm typing Stefan there. I need a vacation. definitely. Rose, is this one, Stefan? Just confirm me. Oasis. Hey, Morn, cheers, thanks. Stefan Jovanovic, please confirm me that this is Rose, so I can do some type of analysis for you. This is a Oasis network? Because here, when I type Rose, it gives me this. Maybe it's this one. Come on, man, I cannot do this without your help. So you need to help me. If this is Rose, then I cannot say much. If this is Rose, okay, it's Oasis. Thank you. So let's look at the Rose for the man Stefan. Let's look the Rose. Let's look for our chart. Whoa, very nice. Like the Borat will say, very nice, very nice. Let's look this as one. Very nice. So we are in some type of a wave 3 development. Yeah, okay. So as we look here, after some type of a kind of an impulsive move on the upside, we had a corrective pullback, and then we have a continuation. So if I see and if I count some type of a wave structure here, ABC, X, ABC, 1, 2, 3. So I will be looking for a potential wave 4 here, and then a further move on the upside. So in my book, this one is still bullish. Let's do some Fib ratios. 2618, beautiful. As you can see how these Fib ratios sometimes work. It's amazing. We're just shy about 2618. We can also do here a kind of let's do this a little bit something different. Let's do a potential complex corrective pullback here instead of the triangle, but it's a phi wave here. So I will not label it like that. So anyhow, I think we are not done here. I think we have a little bit potentially more consolidation and then a further upside, which I think it's not going to be so long as this one. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in a wave 3, reaching 2618, you can expect some type of wave 4 and then a further continuation. Some of the targets, if you are long, you can look for, I will give you one of the extension targets, okay, which might be 1618, around 0.3560, okay? So look for these levels if you're long. Yeah, overtime today, overtime, yeah. Acropolis. Okay, that's the last one, guys. Yeah, visit us at Trading Analysis. Become our member. There is more of that there. There is a Crypto Lab. Just as a small term update, we do much more with our clients. And as you can see here in Discord, we have a very sophisticated group making also their own charts and educating themselves into some of the different methodologies. We also look some of the setups like this in Luna, which was, I think, which is going on the downside, I think, next. So we do change many charts during the day and kind of facilitate some of the trades out of the space that we do usually for our clients. So come, trial is relatively kind of a very small thing. It's, I think, 14 or 20 bucks. So you can spend 15 days with us, see if you like it. And we have our crypto dashboard where we have the webinars, crypto trade desk, we have repository who has a multi-wave trading analysis app, and all other stuff. So let's look at the last one for this crypto lab, which will be, let me look what was the, hey Stefan, no problem. Come next time, we will do more. Acropolis. Hey guys, I'm sorry if I left out anybody, but there's just not simply time. Usually I do 1 hour. Now we are going even more. So let's go with DXXX79. What a name. Hey Swag, you didn't give me any charts to do for you. What's wrong with you today? Acropolis. Let's look Acropolis. Whoa, Acropolis doesn't joke. Well, be careful here. Potentially five-way move is done. So I don't know if these spikes are true, but let's say they are. So yeah, maybe this is finished. Be careful. Wait for some pullbacks here. So we are still in this nice channel, a little bit move up here. If it is an overlap here, I don't have these things to measure, but if it is, you can transform this into a leading diagonal, okay? And then, although this wave 5 needs to be a little bit more, and that will become an expanding one. But in general, I think five-way move, it's fine without this. I don't see a big significant overlap on the line chart. Probably it's not even on an hourly close. So I would just say be careful here and look for some type of potential pullback on this Acropolis. Chain link we will do next time. I'm sorry, Adnan. Try to be faster. I really don't have a problem to look anything for everybody, but just we are limited with time. So as I said, if you like to see more, you can come and become our member. If not, wait the next crypto lab, and I will be glad to do for you whatever chart you like. Of course, I would like that everybody display only one chart so that everybody can get their share. For the next time. Okay, guys, so let's look for the end of this crypto lab, what the Bitcoin is doing, and let's see where we are in the Bitcoin stuff. Well, nothing much. We are still kind of, yeah, one of the options I forgot to tell you is that in Bitcoin, we are looking for some type also of the ending diagonal, okay? Let me just find here Bitcoin. Yeah, this will be a kind of a great pattern if it's developed. So on a smaller time frame, I looked yesterday for this. I will show you. We were kind of looking with our members because usually I post my outlook in the morning regarding the Bitcoin. So I will just show you what we were posting yesterday. Yeah, this was it. So we were looking for a move down, end of the support levels from 57 to 54,000. As you can see here, 53, 55, this was our Fib ratio. And from now, we are bouncing for them in a possible ending diagonal. So this is one of the things we also look, okay, in the Bitcoin. And this is a very specific pattern. And if we are in the Bitcoin ending diagonal, this tells its story. It's a whole book. What is going on in the Bitcoin market if this is ending diagonal? And usually after ending diagonals, you have sharp drops in some type of a larger corrective pattern. Okay, guys, so put the like button for our efforts. Crypto Lab with Alex, featured from Trading Analysis and the great team over there. If you like to look some of the educational video on Elliott Wave. Todd Gordon, our founder and trader, has a beautiful set of instructional videos on the Elliott Wave. And if you trade stocks and options on stocks, you can also visit Trading Analysis. The guys are doing beautiful job there. So you can have a complete package, stocks, forex, and cryptos with Trading Analysis. So if you like, please come and check us out, and hit the like button for me so that we can gather a more crypto community to have such a kind of a profound analysis. I'm joking, guys. Just I have to say it somehow. Okay. So see you next time. Have a nice rest of the week, and take care, guys. Corona is still there. Be safe. Bye bye to the next week. See you.